I did make save and load system. It saves a video game into these two files. Anybody can change. I have them here for testing purposes if they're empty, to see what will happen. It should just work. When I open the video game, also I made ability to close video game. On closing, it closes after files are done. And I made special system, tiny system, that prevents a video game from breaking if computer is turned off a program forcefully without finishing writing files. For this simulation it is slow, so I close it. It did create that, but these two shall be deleted. Well, too bad that I cannot test it. What bad about this is it cannot be tested in the editor. In the editor it stores it inside this for editor testing purposes, but I need it to store alongside, but it is not really possible in editor without special code that checks if it is editor or not, and that means I would need to have that code still here. It would be redundant. I do not want to do that. This file should be deleted, this second one, so it saves properly. This is, let's see first this. No, wait. Let's see first this. This is game settings. Anybody can change, and game settings be updated the very next time it is opened. So you can't change this no matter what. You can change this while the video game is running. And it does not matter, because when I start it will get new value, so it does not matter. This is new value. Okay, this one, this really should be deleted, and this too, because I do have code, but I could not test it. I tried really good to make it work, but it seems like it does not. I just need to delete. Everything else does work. What is happened? This is the check. If this is there, that means good on my language. Why is there a bonus line? I don't understand. Basically, if this is good, that means the thing. That is why it did not work. Oh wait, so there's bonus line, so it checks the last line, okay, and updates according to. See, it should start with the last line, but it does not. Okay. So this is color of background. Remember what background was. So if I remove this line, yeah, I do not know how it checks the last line. See, if I remove the last line, let's go over settings. This is first. What is it? This is how much on the edge when cursor is until it starts to move. For example, 5 means 5 pixels from the edge. If cursor is within 5 pixels on the edge, it starts to move in that direction. Camera. This is rate of change of evolution in how much it gains per. No, I cannot remember what this is. How can I not remember? Regardless, this is how much it gains every step at at average for first generation. This is default, this is just needed at the very beginning. I will even remove it. Why is it there? No, it is still used later to determine the rate of change mutation, because it correlates with that. For example, what 100 generation to be random completely. So if it's 20, then 100 generation for 20. If it's 400, what I would do in actual release, what I thought about that, is 400 around store generations change 400 random. This is the world width and this is the world height, but the world height is actually how much percentage, how much it gets multiplication of the previous level depending on the distance from the middle. So say it gets 0.96% from the previous distance. If it is in the middle, it gets 1. If it is 1 above and 1 below at height, the cell, I mean, it gets 0.96. That means 96% of the previous cell. If it's 1 above that, it gets 96 of that. So 96 of 96% is like 0.81 maybe. So it gets less. This is height, this is width. This is real width. This is just relative height. How much do they gain energy per height? So it self-regulates. Not yet, because still better mutation overrides that, but at some point it gets ridiculous. But I will make that is completely self-regulated, because technically in infinite amount of time this could be filled infinitely, which I do want. Regardless, but I make a different system for better self-regulation. So this is maximum 200 with and no more of word space. It comes one space, comes another. If it comes this side, it enters another this side, and it comes this side, it enters this side. And this is background color, and this is just to check if it is good. What is this? I cannot remember what this is. Well, this is, see, this little one is just the cells that are in the air. It saves just cells in the air, and this cell saves all the other cells. So in the air, at the first row in the air, that is -1 first in the air, because it goes minus up and plus down. It got one cell that is -3 at horizontal. That is, for example, this is middle, where the first spawns, this is second, middle, this is first, after that second, and this is third. This is what it gets. So it gets -1 up. So it's just about in the air, that cell. So basically these are coordinates. This is x coordinates, horizontal, this is vertical coordinates. And this saves, for example, this is the one, and it goes like so. So see, for this coordinate 0, 2, this is cell at 0, 2 coordinates. This is that cell. So this is the color, and this is transparency of color. This is red, green, blue. This is transparency. This be how much energy it has now. This is how much energy it gains per time. This is how much it needs to reproduce. And when it reproduces, of course, it gets a random value based on the previous one for 100 generation. What I said, for 100 generations, yeah. It has just 2 genetics, next to nothing, but it still has more features with height, that it gains more or less energy, so it still regulates based on that. Otherwise it will go wild with this. So that regulation is the first thing for safe, self-sustainable video game. So after very first self-sustainage, I did create saving system. So say this is 100 generation, this divided by 100. Cannot remember what this is. Oh yeah, well this is how fast the camera moves. This is how much color changes if I press button, color of the background. For example, the color of background could be similar to many colors, definitely similar to at least one color. So I can always change to see in the changing background to see all the colors. This is how much it changed hue. This is much how it changed saturation, speed. This is how much speed it changes value. So if I remove the last part, then there should be. These two should be deleted. I do not know why. If I press 8, well, that is it. And I fixed the problem. Now shall see. Watch the color. Escape does not work now. That means closing the program for nothing is happening, but when I do click it works, and then I click escape. I had to change, did not have, but it was the easiest to change the way this is stored, so it is not in this manner anymore. So these first two are the key that will be inside this from the previous, and then it follows the next. So remember the color. I do not remember, but it had to be this. When I press it did work, but now it does not work now. Perhaps I deleted something. The color. That. How is it did not work? Did it not work the first time? I had to rewatch the video. For my testing, it did work. So green color. Remember the color. Color is also important. So if I do that. Oh yeah, because I did. Perhaps I did something like that, but I'm not understanding if inside. So if I remove something that is weirdly removed, like this, it needs this parenthesis. It needs the good length. So if I did remove that, but I will not save it now. But if I did remove, it would just start. It will break. I do not understand how, but it will continue as well. But it will break. So I do not know how this works. It is very smart how this Godot engine executes commands when they are breaking. I assume it is standard. It just goes like so. Quitting the commands that break, ignoring breakage. This be my decision. So if I continue, what? Oh, I pressed escape. See how fast it is. Incredible. But it is still too slow. So listen, okay. I create new. Here's what I do. So these three are color. The color used to be this way. Yeah, and this used to be basically. So I'm changing this to be something. Okay, this could be 7. So except no 0.17. Then this should be 1. So then it generates faster. So the future of my life is always 1. I mean, this is my cell. It is not. I change it. It has 17 needed to fulfill energy to reproduce, but now it is just 1, a little bit over, and it gets 0.3 every time. So it should be fast for better. Oh no, I click escape. Let's see how slow it is. It's still quite fast. So I click escape. It was so fast. Wow. It was so fast. So in the testing, it was that it was taking quite time, for it was opening console and everything, and it was testing software. So this is actual software. So I click it. Wow! It was okay. That was fast in testing as well, but saving it was slow. See how beautiful color. Well, that is it. It can't change everything, or it can't change nothing. It's just. So if I do this, then it is this better for preview picture. From this video, I was posting on Chinese Bilibili. It was as bad as YouTube, but it was Chinese, so I love it for that matter. And today I did upload, just before I was solved this, I success to solve it, all of the 4 videos, or it was 5 that I did from YouTube. I did upload one by one in the order of release on YouTube on Bilibili. Therefore, Bilibili has all my videos of this series and will have this one as well. It again shows this one here, always one that broke, and it is really how for now it is not in the middle, so it cannot be from middle. What I suspected before. This beautiful picture. I want people to watch me on Bilibili instead. This is it. For if I ever want to change this to start new life, I would remove this. Oh no, I should make this separate into multiple files, for this is ridiculous. Might not even work properly with so many. But if computer is good enough to run the simulation, is good enough to run this. But also the simulation will get more complex, so it will be slower, but also it will be more to store into file. But at first I thought it would be much more to store than it requires in simulation by the power. What I mean is power in simulation can be less required than It's basically the same amount of new additions to this. For example, I need another evolution constant, evolution statistic like health, so it would require one more here, and it would calculate slower in the simulation the more I add, but it would simulate faster than it would be here. Yeah. So at the end I might still divide these files, just not to miss something, to make mistakes for some computers.